What's going on, everybody? You know what time it is. It's Sunday, so that makes it time for Straight No Chase, the Cowboys podcast with my boy D Brown.
Yes, sir.
You know what time it is, man. How you feeling, D Brown?
Man, I'm excited because it's playoff football. We got it kicked off yesterday with two really good games, two really entertaining games.
Absolutely.
But I'm also we'll go in today's deal, man, as far as this right here. Cautiously optimistic, apprehensive. How about that?
Okay. That's about where I'm at.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. If yesterday was an indicator of some of the good matchups we're gonna have today, this should be a really entertaining setup all day today, man. Like I said, this is the best time of year, man. It's it's nitty gritty time. It's do or die. You play all these games and have all this build up. There he is. What's up, Rich? I think you gotta unmute your mic, man. You like I say, you play all these games and you get all this build up, man. You do all this positioning, and get to this point. Now we finally here, and now we really get to see, man, what it is or what it ain't. And as far as these Dallas Cowboys, we've had our highs, we've had our lows, we've had our good, bad, and ugly. But it all comes down to tomorrow night, man. And what better way to find out what it is or what it ain't than going up against the legendary Tom Brady.
There you go. I mean, I'm a big thing, man. We got to earn it, man. I ain't trying to go over the meadow through the woods, man. Where our path is, that's where we need to go. We don't deserve shit, as far as I'm concerned. Shout out to Asriel. First of his name, you changed your name a lot. He said, so you think Sean Payton's going to fit once they clip McCarthy on Tuesday? Well, hopefully we not clipping him Tuesday, man. Hopefully that's a discussion down the road.
Yeah, that's real. First, that's man. That's an interesting question, and the timing of that question is interesting because there was a Bleacher Report notification that popped up maybe 25, 30 minutes ago, saying that Payton, wasn't considering Dallas because he didn't think that McCarthy's job was in question. I'm not buying that at all.
Same here.
I'm not buying it at all, man. I think, I'm just gonna go ahead and just jump right in, man, on that subject. That's why I like Asriel's question. Man, if the Cowboys spit the bit tomorrow, I think there is a press conference on Tuesday. I've said it, man, all during the season. I think the bar for this team, minimally, is the NFC Championship, man. I know people like to talk. How you doing, Cliff?
Yeah.
But I think that noise is a bit loud as far as that game. I think, man, the deal is to get past the divisional round because that's where shit has died for this team. The last 4 or 5 playoff appearances. You know what I mean? If they don't progress beyond that with this group, what are we doing? And windows only stay open,
so long, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what are we doing? So I think his question, is very interesting because, and here's the other thing, man. I'll let y'all roll with this. And we've seen this before, when Gerald Wayne comes out, voluntarily, and it was like, hey, man, his job's not in question, or he has confidence, in this, that, and the third, then there's a problem. Then it's on his mind. So I think there's a lot riding on tomorrow for Mr. McCarthy if this team does not fare well, spits the bit, and takes an L tomorrow night in Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That before we get to the second question from Asriel, Rich, what's up, man? How you doing? You still can't hear you, bro.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta figure that out. All right, when Rich get his mic together, we gonna keep cooking. So Asriel says, objectively speaking, I'm Sean Payton. Who do you choose, Broncos, Chargers, or Cowboys? I'm going Cowboys, Chargers, Broncos in that order.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot here, and there's a lot here that fits with what Sean Payton does. I would love to see Sean Payton's screen game with a Tony Pollard.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, and not only that, man, just the play design, the game feel with the talent that he has, man. You know, I think he takes a few guys, you know, offensively speaking, man, because, you know, Sean Payton is, you know, we don't have to go all day on that. He's the goods. I mean, he's one of the best play callers, offensive play designers the game's ever seen. And I think you know, a cat like CD, I mean, some of the weapons that they have, man, and what we've seen in, you know, all that brilliance that he put on in New Orleans. There's a lot of talent here, man, that he personally could make better. And I think he's just got, you know, that cachet of he seems to miss more no nonsense, more hard nosed, snatched by the collar, if you will, I guess, coming off that Parcells tree. And, you know, I personally I'd be giddy if somehow this would have materialized. Now that would take Dallas taking an L. So I'd have to be getting over pissed off about that first. But if that you know, that wringing of hands of gnashing of teeth ends up in like a Sean Payton, then I believe, you know, if I'm just gonna keep it a band. Do we believe Jerry was gonna give Sean full reign if he would come here? There's no question. Sean wouldn't come here otherwise. Shout out to Azriel, man. You coming with some fire questions to start this thing off, man. I love it.
Sometimes when the questions are good, you know, that you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I say shout out to my man. He's coming with some fire. And that's a great question, man. And the answer to that question is yes, absolutely. Like Parcells, who, you know, obviously he was, you know, from the Parcells tree. He was here with Parcells before he took the job in New Orleans as the assistant head coach. Yeah, no question, man. I mean, he's earned that, and you know, Sean Payton would demand that, and he would get it. I don't think there's any question he'd get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jerry Jones' one of the biggest mistakes was that mistreatment of the tuna, because since that regime, man, it's been a joke, man, from your Wade Phillipses to your Jason Garrett's to your this, that, and the third. You bring in your company guys. Now, I think he knows he has to relinquish things a little bit, even if he acts like that's not what's going on. I think he kind of realizes that. So, yeah, Sean Payton coming, he getting full carte blanche. I mean, it's nothing to even debate on that.
Yeah. I totally agree. You know, and I think this is a guy that Jerry has not so secretly coveted for years, even in all those years he was in New Orleans. I think that's one of those, if you were sitting him down, I think, you know, if you would have pressed Jerry on it, you know, that's one of those, I wish we could have kept him, or, you know, I wish we didn't let him get away type conversation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because, I mean, and think about it, you know, you don't make a guy, because, you know, that's the highest, you know, assistant position you can give an assistant coach is the assistant head coach. I mean, that was his official title. So there were aspirations for him to be that here anyway. Agreed. So yeah, man, I think Jerry will break out a brand new bottle of Johnny Walker Blue, Azriel, and be like, man, we we got us one. We got our guy. So
wishful thinking, man. I was, you know, as a Cowboy fan, I would, you know, do backflips, and I can't do backflips. So yeah, that would be the apex of what we can do to build this program going forward, because we got the talent. We just need the guys to be marching the right way, you know, as it were. So have a guy like Sean Payton come in, man, that'd be a godsend, man.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you good?
There
man.
he is.
There we go.
There he is.
Finally, we figured it out.
Our man, Rich.
Yes.
Go ahead, Rich. Me and Darren been blabbing, man.
It's been a long weekend for me, folks. So you can tell on my face it's been a whole lot of sleep. I'm happy this year that we are having the Pro Legends Showcase, and we have a who's list of 5-star 6-star, 7-star, 8-star caliber individuals.
Not the LeBron.
Terrell Davis is not the most popular name on the list. We'll just say that. Terrell Davis. I had an amazing conversation with this guy. He has a story that a lot of people don't know. And he's one of our rivals. He kicked our ass before, Leroy Butler.
Yeah.
This man, when he was born, he couldn't even walk. He had to learn how to walk. He had braces on his legs in order to learn how to walk until he was like 7. And of course, the last thing that was even thought of was him playing football. So as he was a child growing up, watching the kids starting to play Pop Warner, he's sitting there learning how to walk correctly, how to straighten out his leg, and watching these kids out there playing football. He's like, Mama, I want to do that. She said, son, one day you're going to be in the NFL. Don't just believe in yourself. This man learns how to walk, learns how to run, gets to high school. His freshman year, the coach is like, what the hell are you doing on my field? His senior year, he's All-American. He goes to Florida State, plays with some guy named Deion Sanders, one of the best secondaries in college football history, goes into the NFL, drafted 2nd round by the Packers, and wins the Super Bowl and goes to as of last year, he's in the Hall of Fame. So,
story.
But I had just an amazing conversation with the guy, and he is somebody that really, really should have a spotlight shine on him. I don't think even with the gold jacket, I don't think there's enough attention being paid to that man. So we're gonna have the pleasure of doing a joint podcast with Straight No Chaser and the Leap podcast, which is with him and his partner Gary Ellerson, who used to play with the Packers and the Detroit Lions. So that's going to take place on Press Row. You're gonna see the 5 of us mashing it up, man. Because and his podcast, y'all, is fire. I know our podcast is catered towards. If you're a football fan, you're gonna love the Leap podcast, man. So we look forward to that. That's gonna be amazing.
Boom. So I tell you, man, we'll teach y'all on content here,
Leap 36 podcast, my bad. Leap 36.
Leap 36
podcast. Got you. Y'all hit that like button, man. Listen, man, we're not gonna cheat y'all at all this content. We're gonna give y'all stuff from people who actually played the game at the highest level. So you're not gonna get conjecture over here. So I appreciate that, Rich.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Right,
and it's just a small sample of what's gonna go down during Super Bowl week. So I'm telling you, y'all need to you better be hooked on hoop jargon that week, because there ain't no telling what's gonna happen at any given moment from sun up to sundown, and the sun don't go down in Arizona. So let me tell you, that week is gonna be off the hook.
Good stuff, man.
And yeah, what you got there?
No, I was just saying that's great stuff, man. This just that the Rich giving a preview of that little snippet of greatness to be, and just the whole week that's going to be a Super Bowl week, man. And hopefully.
Yeah. We gonna
hope it gets hope.
Don't say it.
We're gonna tell you. So
we look forward to seeing Ed Too Tall Jones at that Super Bowl. We'll stop right there. We'll stop right there.
Love it.
So to transition, man, let's go ahead and talk about the clunker last week, man. What went wrong, man?
Everything.
They showed up. That's what went wrong.
No, the fact that they rolled into the stadium, that was wrong.
Yeah.
All of it. Man, that was as disappointing between game. What's up, man? That was as disappointing an end of season performance that I can remember, bro. And I'm going back to the 70s. That was, man. I don't even know that 1-15-89 team looked that bad on the field in the last game of the season.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
It was horrible, bro. That was my man, bro. You dead on. Between games, said they should have stayed in Dallas. I mean,
they should have sent Cooper Rush in the practice squad.
Man, telling you for real.
It was horrible, and that was the most disappointing thing. He's like, man, those were the starters. Those were the guys.
Yeah.
Those are starters. And they looked piss poor. It was, man, I was pissed. I was angry. I mean, I was watching like, man, what in the hell is this? What is this? Yeah, it was now. I mean, and I know, guys check out, had to play for it. I'm sure they get, that whole deal. Hey man, Philly's up, whatever. But man, you don't go lay an egg like that. And knowing that you got a playoff game to play a week later. That was incredible.
It was an ostrich egg that they laid.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a regular chicken egg. It was an ostrich egg. It was a huge egg.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was.
Just pathetic. Offense was terrible. No pressure on the quarterback. It was if we play 70% as bad as we did against, you get ready to go home.
Yeah,
and get ready to see Mike McCarthy with a box in his hand, cleaning out his desk on Tuesday morning. Yeah, so to your point, and I love the questions that they have. That Azriel posted. I love those questions, man. I think for certain, if we don't beat the Bucs, McCarthy's gone.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Yep.
And I also agree that a second round loss is also at this point. It's an exit point. It's NFC Championship at a minimum.
Yep.
Or bust.
Yes, indeed.
Or bust. Simple as that. Now, what's in Mike McCarthy's favor? Not that we give a damn, but this is a market that's starving for coaches. So, he'll land on his feet somewhere. Somebody will pick him up. But, as far as, with this organization, NFC Championship or bust.
Yep.
Period, point blank. To talk about the Mike McCarthy situation now, that would be interesting, and I think we were all in favor of that. But what would be the point of contention is the personnel control. Sean Payton has made it very clear: the next organization that he goes to, he wants to go shopping for the groceries. Period.
Parcells.
Yes. Period. So. There's Jerry and those wrinkled old hands that just don't want to relinquish control over personnel, and I think that a loss would in the prior to the conference championship game would be the trigger point for him to go ahead and do that, because this organization is getting older and more expensive. You're going to go through salary cap hell next year. You're going to have to do a lot of moves in regards to salary restructure. Dak's going to probably have to restructure. Zeke is gone. If Tyron Smith is smart, he'll take a pay cut. Otherwise, he's gone. You just don't have a lot to work with. You don't have a lot of draft capital. You don't have a lot of players that are,
And you have guys coming due that are going to pay,
right.
Michael Parsons.
Right. Trayvon and Parsons are a year away from being paid.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got to worry about that at 25.
Yep.
So those two guys are going to get paid, and then you got to figure out how you're going to pay Tony Pollard, because he's going to get a max. He's going to get a max deal, whether it be in Dallas or elsewhere. So a lot to think about in the offseason. This is something that I think Sean Payton will want some clear understanding of as well. What type of personnel am I going to walk into the door with? Because if I'm not going to have Tony Pollard and Zeke starting over at running back, that's a huge question mark. If I'm not going to have, unity on that offensive line, what are we going to do with Terrence Steele? Like, this is a lot of questions that have to be answered in free agency and the draft. So he's going to want control over that situation. Speaking of salary cap, what do you do with Zeke? You put a bow on his ass and you send him to Cleveland. That's what you do with Zeke. He's too expensive. You can't afford him anymore. Yeah. He's a nice looking car with a lot of miles on it, an older car. It's still a Mercedes, but it's a 2002 Mercedes. Yeah. And he has a hell of a lot of miles on it. It still looks good.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying $900 a month for it either.
Correct.
So you trade that bad boy in because you're upside down in equity. So Zeke's gone.
Yeah, Azriel, what you're going to see with Zeke is, he's one of those where he's going to get cut. Mm-hmm. He's going to be that salary cap casualty cut, where if he's on a roster when the new year starts, for for them, if he's on the roster at that time, then Dallas will owe him a lot of money. So that is not going to happen. He's going to be cut prior to. And there's precedent. They did it with Aikman. They did it with Emmett. I mean, so they're and these look, and we know what history those guys have here. So you can best believe they did. Hell, they I'm saying there's one other long money guy that they did it with, but
DeMarcus Ware.
DeMarcus Ware. There you go.
DeMarcus Ware.
So I mean, and these are everybody I just named was a Hall of Famer. So it'll happen, and it should happen. Rich, you brought up something, man. I want to stay in that Sean Payton lane for a second, and I know that's kind of.
Before you go back to Sean Payton, let me ask this: is there any way that Zeke can stay?
If he agrees to take a huge pay cut, which I don't think it's fair to him, and I don't think it's smart either. Given his style of play, I don't want to speak this on the man, but I mean, he's not a guy that's going to play until he's 35. Not the way that he plays. No, he's a physical guy. Those guys don't make it very far on the other side of 30, and he's right about there. So, if I were Zeke, my goal would be to get a short-term deal, maybe a 1 or 2 year deal with a fat paycheck, guaranteed on a contender. Because that way, if you're successful, you probably can get them to re-up and do it again for a couple more years, and then take it on home, man. Because Zeke is knocking on 30 right now. This is the time where Father Time starts sending you letters in the mail saying, "Hey, your warranty on your vehicle is about to expire." So.
Man, perfect. I can't detest that one bit, man.
Yeah. And also to Rich's point, again, I mean, you can't ultimately speak for the man. I'm just going on what I've seen and how well the Pollard Zeke, yin and yang this year has worked, and how they've seemingly been supportive of that. Obviously, two competitive guys doing what have you, but clearly the Cowboys, just by production, made a concerted effort to give the ball more to Tony Pollard, and it paid off. The man up in the Pro Bowl. But man, you look at how they use it. If you're Zeke, to Rich's point, he's not going to command what he was going to get anywhere. I mean, which is $20 million. If he's on the roster, that's what he's going to get. He's not going to get $20 million anywhere.
Nope.
So when he gets cut, here's the decision for Zeke, and it's kind of close to what Leighton Vander Esch did, right? Because the Cowboys didn't pick up the 5th-year option on Leighton Vander Esch's rookie deal, which would have paid him as a first rounder $9 million. They no, but they brought him back. He's probably played himself into some money.
Yeah, he did.
But and I think Vander Esch is playing on what, Rich, $3-4 million this year, something like that. And I think Zeke, I didn't say what the man should do, but I think there'll likely be a consideration there, because to Rich's point about what is it that extends Zeke's career, as long as he wants to play. I don't think he's the bell cow. I know he's not the bell cow guy anymore, but I think the way he was used in Dallas probably puts a couple of more productive years on his career being used in that, that decreased capacity.
I think the scenario
for $4 or $5 million, I would love him to come back here.
Right. I think the scenario for Zeke that would extend his career. Remember when Ricky Williams came back, and he was like a sturdy number 2. Like, he was as good as just about any starter in the league. But he knew, okay, I'm a number 2 guy for the remainder of my years. And he played a number of years in that role, and he was still kicking ass. And he would be, he'd come off the bench, and he'd be that extra hammer that they have. And it worked well for him. So I think that's kind of what I expect to see from Zeke, for the next 5 years.
Yeah. And if the number's right, and just so we cross that bridge, would I want him here in that capacity? Damn right I would. Because he's still one of the best inside runners, and we know what it is around that goal line. Some guys just have that knack of, hey man, I don't care if you got 9-10 in that box and it's 3rd and goal from the 2. You can still hand it to 21, and he's getting in the end zone. He's just that guy. So, or if you need to move the chains or what have you, I mean, he's still a remarkably physical runner. He doesn't have the break speed anymore that he once had, but he can still get it done in a lot of those dirty, grimy runs for the right number. And there's value in that. There's value in a guy that can continue to move the chains. There's value when you get in the red zone and you can get in the end zone versus kicking field goals. So there's still a lot of value. You just don't overpay for it, and it sure as hell ain't $20 million worth. Is it $4 to $5 million? And everything else fits, damn right it is. So we'll see what happens.
I like the comment, man, saying like a Brandon Jacobs or a Ahmad Bradshaw type of role. You say Jerome Bettis, man, he found value late.
Right. Yeah, Bettis was the starter at the end of his career.
We've seen it before.
When he went to Pittsburgh, he was, because Bettis was the man with the Rams. Yeah, it was clearly. But when he went to Steelers, he was like, okay, all right, fine, I'm gonna do what I got to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Very interesting dynamic. I got a question to pose to you, my guys here, and especially to all our people there in the chat. Among the things that concern me most about tomorrow's night's matchup is Mike McCarthy himself.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this from the standpoint of like there are things, and I'm a little concerned about the beef too, but more so about McCarthy. Because this game management thing with him is really frightening. Possessions, like in any playoff scenario, I mean, you simply cannot waste. You need to maximize every possession of the ball that you have, right? QB1, obviously, with this interception streak, that's just as frightening. That has to stop. That can't happen. But man, your coach. They're battling on the field, but your coach cannot put you in compromising positions like he has done multiple times since he's been here with field position decisions like not to punt the ball when you're on the negative side of the 50-yard line, those types of decisions. And man, I cannot help but to keep thinking about situations like that where this guy, will make a decision like that. And you've got TB12 on the other side. It's like you're handing him that opportunity to beat you. That's tomorrow. That aspect of this, the matchup tomorrow night is crazy to me. It concerns the living hell out of me, to be honest with you. Well, I mean, I just see where you guys thought on that. I think it's as big as the stuff that's on the field.
Right, no question. Because McCarthy has, to your point, he has a habit of tripping over his own feet. And we also need to be concerned about that damn guy next to him with the headset and clipboard that we call a beef. Because he has a tendency to try to overthink shit. And I know he's been in the film room looking back at week 1, trying to figure out what went wrong. Oh, let me do this instead of that. It is really, really simple, Beef. All this extra shit that you're doing on the whiteboard is not going to change or move the dial. And that game is sort of an anomaly because that's where Dak got hurt.
Correct.
And, you had to change your entire offensive schematic, based upon that. You had to throw Cooper Rush on the fire with, no preparation. So I hope that he's not really basing the way that he calls his game on that. But to the point, at that time when Dak got injured, I want to say we only ran the ball like maybe 10 times.
Yep.
Run the football.
Exactly, man.
I'll repeat again. Run the football. I'll say it in Spanish. El runo lo fútbol. Swahili. Whatever we got to do to get you to understand. Yeah. You tell Dak to can't take that snap and turn his ass to the left or the right, depending on the formation, and put that fucking football in the stomach of Tony Pollard or Zeke Elliott. Yep. And we will tell you when to throw the football. When the situation allows it, throw the football. Don't be cute. Run the ball against the Buccaneers, because
They can't defend the run.
One thing that we have to do, I don't give a damn if this man is 95 years old, let alone 45. There's a guy on the Buccaneers named Thomas Edward Patrick Wayne Brady. He is a certified cowboy killer.
Yeah.
Who has been doing this for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
He knows how to win playoff games with nothing. He's taking football teams that had no business being in the playoffs and taking them to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So you cannot look at personnel. He still has Mike Evans. He still has Leonard Fournette on his team. These are not scrubs that you're playing against.
No.
And don't let the record fool you. Tampa Bay is playing at home. They got a veteran team. They got experience. They got coaches who've been there. This is not going to be an easy game. And I tweeted out yesterday because I see all the foolishness from the Cowboys affiliates on social media.
Oh, Lord.
Here they go again. Oh, this is going to be easy win, blah, blah, blah. Easy win and Tom Brady goes together like potatoes and grapes, man. Like, you do not write off Tom Brady, period. A man who's beaten this franchise so many times. You do not just ignore this man and this team and what that coaching staff and what they're capable of. So I say that to say this. They have to get pressure on Brady early and often.
Yes.
And you have to run the damn football. We cannot rely on that Dakota Rain Prescott to win this game for us. Period.
Period. Something about, I don't know what it is, man. He's shell shocked right now.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted more weapons for him to think less. That's why I was, pounding the table for the Odell situation. Because I know how that gets to that point where, like, man, you got to damn near spoon feed shit to him. And he would torpedo this hard. Because, man, listen, man, in my many years of watching football, I've never seen a guy throw an almost pick six and the very next play go back to the same person.
Same spot.
And give up a pick six. I've never seen that before in my life.
It was the best Matt Schaub imitation I've ever seen.
That's a who?
It was the best Matt Schaub imitation I've ever seen.
Holy cow, it's like Ryan Leaf. Like, what was that? Jamarcus Russell, man. I mean, we can go down the worst. So I say all that to say, like you said, man, game plan of making him think less because he's in a funk, man. And I don't want to see him throw himself out this funk. Damn that. I seen enough tape. Because we talked about the affiliates and easy win. Last week supposed to be easy win. And we can't say we mailed it in because we had our starters out there. So, at some point we're going to have to reestablish who we are. And we can do that in a week. Great. I don't think that bodes well for us, to be honest. Coming off a clunker like that, I don't care what nobody say. If we'd have pulled our starters and we got throttled, I don't think that it would have mattered. But you had your guys out there trying to actually win, and our offense could do nothing. So we lost to the third string quarterback, and he looked like goddamn so much. The second half. That's what he had some skill, man. Like he was supposed to be a highly rated guy, and he had a not so.
Yeah, he was have an early preseason game. He was auditioning for next year's team, and he looked pretty good at the expense of the Cowboys.
Boy had some wheels. He was getting shit up, up the field, and he wasn't even using McLaurin like that, man. He was doing a hell of a job, man, not using your feature receiver to get started. But I wanted to address this comment as well. Israel says, concerns me, defense holding up. I feel like Brady's going to catch fire. Now, he very well could.
Yeah.
He very well could, man.
Oh, Mike Evans going to get his. There's no question about that.
Yeah. So, and our cornerback, so it's been our concern, not named Trayvon Diggs. So, can Bland step up? He's been doing all right. But what are we going to – what's Brady going to do with that? Because he's been meticulous this whole week, breaking down film, breaking down their first game. And so I wanted to see how we can put that back together because our defense, as we all know, hasn't been great either, man. So it's like, damn. I know Tampa Bay has a negative record, but they're playing themselves into playoff form. What a week.
I do like the one addition that we did make at the last minute in free agency. We picked up Xavier Rhodes.
Yep.
Older guy, but still smart and savvy enough to help. So I think that was I will give credit. That was a pretty good move.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, damn, it's like where the hell's he been?
Yeah.
And look, I was pleasantly surprised to see the addition. But I also immediately question, well, man, the side opposite Trayvon Diggs has looked really bad for like several weeks. Like, could we not have made that decision prior to now? I mean, naturally, I just asked that question. But going back to Richard's point earlier, and even Cliff's about the pass rush. I mean, like you said, man, this is real simple. And to Azrael's point about Mike Evans eating that secondary. Well, yeah, he's gonna be running wide open because if they don't get to Brady, he's gonna kill him. It's real simple, man. I mean, that pass rush has to make Brady pull that ball down, and get to him and get him on the ground and get him behind the chains. I'm gonna tell you another matchup, man, that concerns me is Leonard Fournette against this run game. Because one of the better defenses against this Dallas team, and Tampa knows that Dallas can score points, is keep Dallas's offense out the field. Well, how do you do that? You keep moving the chains. You grind it out, using their hammer and Leonard Fournette. And this run game has been not good and not consistent all year. So, there's some matchup issues there that concern you big time. But I think the biggest is now Vander Elsworth comes back, and Cliff, like you said, they missed the old boy. Now, whether his presence, and they get Big Hankins back also. So hopefully their presence, Jonathan Hankins, that is the massive inside tackle to help with the run game. So hopefully their presence does something to shore up the run game. But if you think I'm going to sit here and say, well, if we slow down the run and then make this statement and make Tom Brady beat us, that drops your body temperature. It should about 4 or 5 degrees if you make that statement. We're going to make, especially if you're Dallas, because he's beaten Dallas when they played well, and and Brady, still found a way to beat him. So,
2019, anybody?
Right. Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting, man. They have to shore it up on defense. They got to get to the quarterback. And to Richard's point about that run game, I'll be specific, Richard. You'll appreciate this, being the old lineman that you are. Get that thing. Matter of fact, on the whiteboard, Rich, 3rd and 2. That's what needs to be on the whiteboard. For the offense, get to 3rd and 2. Every series, get to 3rd and 2, because to your point, Cliff, that takes a whole lot out of Dak's hand. At 3rd and 2. And also, you would hope to give the shout out to Miss Diva. Good morning. Good morning.
Good Stephen.
That it lends itself to Dallas' strength, like you said, Rich. Turn around and putting that ball in the gut of Tony Pollard. And on 3rd and 2, most notably, Ezekiel
21.
I don't want to see the what's our guy?
Turpentine, give him more touches.
I don't want to see the double. I don't want to see the pitch and double reverse.
No.
Lucky Whitehead, special. I don't want to see that. I want to see them man up, get those big guys in front with AARP on one side, and there he is, Lucky Whitehead. AARP on one side, and Tyron on the other. I mean, turn around, hand that football off, and move those chains, man, and keep TB12 and then the opportunity to beat you off the field as much as possible. For again, 3rd and 2. That's our aspiration. 3rd and 2. If we can stay out of 3rd down, period, that's even better. But more than anything, stay out of 3rd and long, because that's when things will get real crazy.
And also, I want to see a whole lot of 12 personnel.
Yes,
12. I want somebody to go to Mike McCarthy and the B and take a permanent marker and write 12 personnel across their forehead. 12 personnel.
And for those out there, Rich, explain what 12 personnel is.
12 personnel is 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back.
Big boy football.
Help with the pass rush. You can run screens off it. You can do short passes, intermediate passes. You can this now if you want to run to the edge, you have an extra guy out there to help pick up blocks. And once the safety comes down to start to bite on it, then you got a one-on-one matchup on the corners with your outside guys. Yeah, imagine that.
Michael Gallup.
Instead of all this other ticky-tack bullshit that you draw up, you keep it nice and plain and simple. If you're sick, just eat some damn chicken noodle soup. Don't try to do nothing fancy. Come on. That's all I'm saying. Run the 12, man. I want to see the 12. I want Hendershot and Schultz. I want their jerseys dirty after this game.
Yeah.
I want their jerseys to be absolutely filthy. So that means that we've been running 12 personnel.
I love it.
Dak been throwing the ball at him all day long like he loves it. I got no problem with using your tight end, but goddamn, Dak, shit, we get some diversity. But man,
yeah,
right. Question for both of you, anybody in the chat: what is the situation with Tyler Biadasz?
Last I heard, he's okay.
So Biadasz is a go tomorrow.
Biadasz?
I
haven't heard anything about him not playing.
Oh wow, they missed him too.
Yeah, they did.
That is the beef, as real. That's what we call him on the show. That's what he look like.
He said, "Was that leave it to Beaver?" Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's what we call him.
Doing the announcer voice as real, and Kellen Moore as the Beaver. That's who the Beaver is.
Yeah. Featuring Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I'm looking at the injury report. I don't see Biadasz on there, so I expect him to play.
Okay. Wow. I mean, because it's truly an all hands on deck. I mean, this is the playoffs. I mean, if you can Fred Sanford your way out there, man, get out there and give us what you got, man. It's all we are something else, man. It's a different crew over here as we're unhinged and we like it. It's all hands on deck, man. I mean, the big Hankins, Biadasz, Vander Elsewhere. Bring back Terrence Newman if he can help. I mean, somebody. I mean, anybody, man. It's all hands on deck, man. They got to win this damn game tomorrow. Something by hook or by crook, man. Here's the thing. They in the Tom Brady era, has he ever lost to the Cowboys?
Never.
It's never happened, right?
He's never lost to the Cowboys. Period.
Yeah, I'm saying not a playoff game. Period.
Yes. Period.
Wow.
Not even in a preseason, man.
Right.
Ever. He's never lost to the Cowboys.
Wow. Yeah. So it was something got to give, man. But true that. We're a different kind of unhinged though, bro. I mean, if you in all seriousness, man, I mean, if you're Dak Prescott, if you're Ezekiel Elliott, you gotta be in that locker room tomorrow before you walk out of that tunnel. You gotta look at yourself, man. It's like, bro, all of a sudden y'all been in since 2016.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're seasoned vets. So it's really now or never for them in terms of what they'll be remembered as or what that chapter will be. Is like, man, that are you gonna be two of the league guys that were like, hey man, y'all had some opportunities, y'all were really good there for a window, but you really didn't do anything, right? That's why that divisional, like if they get past this and they go out in the divisional round, means nothing, right? They've got to get beyond that, man, because the expectation for them in particular has been too high. This team has had talent around them. This is actually probably the most balanced they've been since they've been together on both sides of the football. But those two guys have to look at each other like, hey, man, we got to come out of this tunnel. And it starts there. We're going to write our chapter in this thing, man, and it's going to really have a story or mean anything. We got to start and get this shit done tonight, when they come out of the tunnel. They have to. Or they're just going to be a pair of what could have been.
Right.
Bottom line.
Yep. Did you hear about the corny ass motivational tactic that McCarthy used with the baby pictures?
No, I didn't hear about this.
Okay, so he had the staff to go back and pull baby pictures of the players. Some of them didn't have it because they weren't even born. For the guys that were alive, the last time we were in a conference championship game, he pulled baby pictures and used them in the team meeting.
Wow. Wow. That was 1996. Wow. Wow. Okay. So
that is the lamest, corniest motivational tactic that I've ever heard.
wow.
Who gives
I
a
have no
damn about what happened in the past? I want to talk to you guys about last year.
Mhm.
Those of you who was here last year, remember what happened when we're at home in front of your fans and your mama and your sister and your cousins
And the
and your
side-
girlfriend and your wives saw you shit the bed, and you shit the bed. Not the guys who came at the immature and Michael. You did it. You lost. You laid the egg. What are you gonna do about it? Don't you think that's a little bit more motivating than seeing some damn baby pictures and talking about the history of the Cowboys?
Facts.
I want to show you where you failed, and you have a chance to overcome that Monday night. It all starts Monday night. I think that'll light just a little bit more of a fire under their ass than to see some damn baby pictures when they were in nursing school watching the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, or if they were even here.
And Michael Parsons wasn't even born.
Yeah.
He could
Well,
have.
I would say it depends on what they previous pep talks have been, because if you beat that drum already, then
The problem is nobody's telling these guys about their self.
Right. That's not an accountability.
No, I don't use the anecdotal shit. You got to shoot straight up. Man, I would either be a Hall of Fame coach or I'd be fired the first week, because I would tell them straight off the bat, you ain't shit. And you ain't going to ever be shit until I see gold.
all right, Mike Singletary.
Right. Until I hold that trophy in my hand, none of y'all ain't shit. I don't care how much you get paid every week. I don't care how many Campbell Soup commercials you got. I don't care how many followers you got on social media. Until you have a ring on your hand, you ain't shit. You might as well be working at Home Depot. That's my mentality. Yeah, that's how I would approach them. Prove me wrong. You can't stand my ass. Good. Go take it out on those motherfuckers.
Right.
Make the coach shut up, because I'm going to stay on your ass until you prove me wrong. Hashtag prove me wrong.
There you go.
Let's go. Get your ass on the field. Let's go.
Well, Rich leading with an iron fist, man.
That's what they need. This organization lacks discipline and focus. It starts at the top. It starts with the old man, even the guys at the pro shop. You better fold those damn jerseys and shirts on the shelf. I want that shit organized. I want these floors mopped. I want the flyers hung correctly. I don't want any fingerprints on the window. I want the popcorn to be salted properly, all the people that's cooking. I want the burgers at the right temperature, all of that shit. Until we get there, nobody brags about the Cowboys.
Does
Is that a little bit more motivating?
Other than me right now?
Huh?
Cliff, I want Rich on the staff. I don't know. Because man, look, Rich got me fired up. This going on, man. Because when you get on the people on the fan shop about folding the shit properly, that's what I want. Yeah. He even brought the fan shop people in here, man. Nobody shit.
Ain't nobody job safe until we get a Super Bowl trophy. Nobody job safe.
I ain't gonna lie. If I was a fan shop person, I'd be like, man, shut your motherfucking
That's awesome, man.
But
But right.
Yeah,
but you cooking, man. I love it. I mean, but you're right.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, you know, that is. I didn't hear about that. You know, the whole baby picture thing. That is pretty corny. But again, we get on the affiliates asses about, you know, constantly bringing, you know, the 90s up. I mean, it's a nice nostalgic point. The history happened. It's good to think about at times. But when you're talking about applying it to now and what's in front of you and the opportunity that this team can contribute to, you know, the history of this team right now, why the hell are you bringing that up? So,
damn, do we need Janet Jackson to do a remix? What have you done for me lately?
There you go.
Let's do the Cowboys version of that. Come on.
Coach. Like, nobody on this team has remotely seen, you know, a championship game, let alone the bigger game. How about that? Instead of saying it, the bigger game.
Right. You go out there and you run a quarterback draw that moment that just stuck in my head. You run a quarterback draw, not knowing the down distance situation, not knowing you're not going to have enough time to pull off another play. Mind you pissed the bed the whole game leading up to that. You walk away from that, and you come into this season not ready for the playoffs. I shouldn't even have to go there to motivate you not to do that again. You should be embarrassment. You should the embarrassment that pain in your gut that you've been carrying for a year should be there already. That should be enough. So,
add on top of that the embarrassment and just the abysmal whatever the hell that was last week should be in your. You get rid of that.
Yeah.
You know, on top of the memory of the debacle that was last year at home versus the 49ers.
Every game that you get beat should be because you got outplayed.
Yes.
And I couldn't believe he did that. Like, okay, there's nothing I can do about that,
And our coach was
yeah.
I mean, it was so so it sounds like the consensus here and even among those in the chat that there needs to be a concerted amount of improvement from not only the guys on the field, but the cats on the sideline, McCarthy and the just to be smart, be efficient, give these guys the best opportunities to win.
This is a 8 to 5 Monday through Friday organization. They take hour-long lunch breaks. They have mental health days. They rest. They take the extra day after a holiday. These are the guys that walk around at the construction site with the extra pair of gloves and the hard hat with no dirt on it, and their boots are shiny and they have hand protectors when they use a damn hammer. That's the kind of organization you don't see shit getting built when you got the guys across the way at the other construction site. And you got shit everywhere. You got a truck that's muddy. You got a guy with boots he got mud all up his side. His harness is hanging off his back. And he's climbing ladders and shit. And you see guys throwing shit from one floor to the next floor. And that building is being built. That is the difference between where we are and the other guys are.
No,
you got the workers. You just don't have the coach.
Now, Rich, we the ones who show up the last day and cut the ribbon down.
Yeah,
hard head on with the boots.
There you go.
Yeah, with the gold shovel.
Yeah. You ain't see that one scoop.
The ribbon cutting guys.
Yeah,
golly. That's brilliant.
That's so true.
Absolutely brilliant and absolutely accurate. Cliff, when Rich was cooking just then, giving that analogy, I was thinking about the cats who show up in the gym with the expensive shoes and all the matching gear. Can't hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Anybody with more than one Jordan item on, man, you already know they trash.
Yeah, you already know they trash.
Jordan shoes,
exactly.
Maybe a short.
The wristbands, the headband.
Oh man,
all of that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Never had a knee injury. Got on knee brace.
Because nobody buys the top. Because I remember Foot Locker used to have the Jordan set. They had the top, and then they had the Jordan hooping shorts to go together with the socks.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever got the top part. You got
the socks, the warm-ups, all that matching.
That's
the absolute trash.
Right.
You do some generic little tailway joints to put on, man. You don't buy the whole Jordan fit, man.
Man, this is good stuff. This is
all right. So we gonna round the show out, man. Y'all been cooking, man. So I'll let y'all go. Game predictions, man. So we've told the whole background story of the Lane prep-up meetings. The Lane performance we put up last week. With all things being considered, man, what does tomorrow look like?
I very, 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 very cautiously say this. And it's only because of the lack of consistency that they've had on offense throughout the year. And if the formula that we laid out is followed, you can walk away out of Tampa Bay with the W. Keep Brady off the field. Keep ourselves in third and short, second and short. Don't turn the ball over. and get pressure on Brady. Period. If those things don't happen in that order, I'm telling you, we will lose.
Yep.
However, I do think that this is a situation where I expect us to run the football 35 plus times. I expect Tony Pollard to shine. I expect Zeke to be hella effective. I expect some X factor type shit like special teams to contribute. And I also expect T.Y. Hilton to be a factor as well. He is a huge addition that is going to pay dividends come Monday night. So very carefully, I'm going to say 21-17 Cowboys. Okay. Fingers crossed.
Darren, you want to take it, Will?
Yeah, man. Well, Rich is reading my mail. That to me, success for the Cowboys looks a lot like what he said. Like I illustrated earlier, offensively, 32, right? I mean, they can't get behind the chains because that lends itself to QB1, who has not been good in his decision making, particularly under duress. Stay out of those situations. How you do that? Run the ball effectively and commit to doing so. I think, to Rich's point, they have the guys to do it. You expect and look for Tony Pollard to have a big game. You expect Zeke to be effective in those short distance and short down distance situations, moving the chains. And I'll add to what Rich is saying. When you get, and this is a premium, I think both you guys and everybody in the chat can agree to this. When you get the opportunity, especially early, to score touchdowns, get the ball in the end zone. Mm-hmm. You cannot kick field goals on this team. Every field goal you kick gives TB12 an opportunity to break your heart again.
Absolutely.
So I'll add that to what Rich was saying. How many of those opportunities come remains to be seen, but there needs to be, in my estimation, at least 3 to 4. More is always good in that situation. But when you get the opportunity to get that thing in the end zone, score touchdowns. Do not turn the ball over. Run the ball effectively. Get to Tom Brady when he's on the field. Make life uncomfortable for him from snap 1 to snap 65 or whatever the case may be. That said, I think Dallas will play better. They cannot play worse. I think the magnitude of the situation will force them to raise their game. We've seen them do that, so this isn't pulling it out of the air. We've seen them do that against a Minnesota team on the road, I might add, that was tied for best record in the game. We've seen them play better, decidedly better, including Philadelphia a couple weeks ago. Save for the incredible play of the pick six, Dak played really well in that game. He responded well when they got down by 10 points twice. So with that said, I too will be very cautious, and I will go Dallas 24, Tampa 21 in a very close win, and Dallas gets out of there by the very slim margin that Vegas has them favored by, which is 2.5. 24-21 Dallas.
24-21 Dallas, I like it. Okay, I'll bring up the rear, man. As we know, Tampa Bay cannot run the ball, so I'm hoping that they don't turn into the 2019 Rams on us in the playoffs and just find a two-headed monster that didn't exist.
Right.
And run us to the ground with Gurley and Anderson.
Yeah. God, that was painful.
Yeah, man. I was like, where the hell did that come from?
I was like, damn, did Eric Dickerson come out of retirement? Jeez, that was bad.
200 damn yards given up. But okay, today's a new day. So I'm hoping Leonard Fournette, they call him playoff Lenny. Hopefully he doesn't remember who he is and just run wild on us. I don't see that happening, but I mean, it very well could. I didn't see last week happen either. All right, moving forward. Can we contain Mike Evans? That remains to be seen. Can we put pressure on Brady to make him make quick decisions, which he doesn't mind actually, but to just kind of keep hurrying him and rushing him, that's going to be our only way. We happen to rush the pass good traditionally. We got like 3 sacks last week, but it didn't look like a good pass rush to me in totality. So with all that being said, our advantage is if we can get vertical with them. Their secondary isn't the greatest. Can we establish that run, like you said, and set the pace and control the clock, keeping Brady off the field as much as we possibly can would be the best strategy. That means Dak has to throw the ball, which I don't trust Dak right now. I'm going to be just with that. So all those things in the pot. I'm gonna go optimistic, man. My head says we're gonna lose, but I'm gonna go with my heart. So with my heart, I got 23-13. 20-13. So I think as scared as we are of the Buccaneers, they're scared of us too. But what version of yourself is gonna show up? And with my heart, I'm gonna go Dallas shows the fuck up. But my head says we gonna lay another one. So there's that.
That's fair.
23-13.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, man. Put me interested, man, because I think, I mean, and Rich, you know this. Cliff, you do as well. If we win, then the affiliates will go nuts, and it'll be more bullshit on Twitter and the social.
Oh, that's gonna happen regardless.
If they lose, there will be wringing of hands and gnashing of teeth. Starting with gotta have it.
The affiliate uniform right there.
They pieced up and creased up right now.
Oh, the Sean Payton Palooza is gonna go bananas.
Yes.
If we lose on Monday night,
Yes. I may have
his name is gonna be the number one trend on social media for certain.
Yeah, no doubt. So it's gonna be a real interesting Tuesday around here on either side of the equation, where either the Cowboys win, hopefully, or the Cowboys L, because that's going to be painful, man. I mean, as mercurial as this season has been at times, you look at the man's record, McCarthy, I'm talking about. Last two regular seasons, they were 24-10.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? So, there'll be people pointing to that, but again, I don't give a damn about that. I mean, if they're not in the NFC Championship game for me, and I've said this from week one, I think we've all echoed the same sentiment. If they're not in the NFC Championship game for me, this season was a waste.
All for nothing.
Yep, it was a waste. I mean, and particularly when you rolled the storm of the Cooper Rush, the Dak Prescott injury. Right. I mean, when you got through 5 games with Cooper Rush as your starter at 4-1. Right, and you get to 12 games, because we didn't see 12 games when Dak went out in the first game. And by the way, Dak was not playing well when he got hurt. Let's keep that above. But when you survive 5 games at 4-1 with Cooper Rush, and then get to this 12-5 season, ended it horribly, but you got to 12 wins, means not a damn thing if they don't get to the NFC Championship game. And before we sign off, I thought you laid out the possibles and the scenarios beautifully in terms of the path to get there. It's ideal for Dallas. And that obviously starts with them, beating Tampa, and then they would draw whom in the second round?
Believe it would be we would have the Eagles in the second round.
The Eagles, okay.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna have to see them sooner or later. So
yeah, man.
Better see them sooner rather than later, because if you have a red hot Eagles team in the conference championship game on the road, it's like fighting Rocky Balboa in Philadelphia. No, I want to fight Rocky when he was fighting at the church, or when he was broke, trying to work at the meat packing plant, then motivated Rocky who's follow Creed. No, I don't want that dude.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. They got to get it done, man. We'll see. We'll be like, whew, they got through it, or we'll be like, all right, what changes? How many changes we gonna make?
If things iron themselves out based upon seeding, then the Vikings would host the 49ers. And then the winner of that will be the opponent in the conference championship game. So,
wow,
Vikings are beatable. 49ers, I'm afraid of. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, even with Brock Purdy.
Yeah. I know Philly has looked really good all year long. Jalen Hurts has had a magnificent year. That team has looked really good. But man, I think the 49ers right now are the team to beat in these playoffs. If Bezos keep that at band, they look real good. And this kid,
what an embarrassment of riches they have at quarterback going into the season.
So, but we'll get to them when we get to them. These boys need to get to They need a playoff win, man, and they need one Monday night. Damn it! So
They need two.
man,
If we don't have two playoff wins.
Shots up. It's playoffs. It's playoffs. Cliff, if you got something back there, man.
Cliff had plenty of these last night. That's why he got on camera.
I have not drank in 3 weeks. I'm going dry January.
Okay,
my man. All right. Well, then I'll do another one for you because I have not. So
there you go. All right. No chaser.
Straight no chaser, man. Here's to Cowboys victory. I hope.
I really wish they'd have went ahead and did the game tonight and get it over with, so we can be
for real,
happy or miserable on Monday.
Indeed.
This extra day is just driving me crazy.
Real tough,
man. Fellas,
great show.
Y'all enjoyed today's contest. Thanks to everybody in the chat.
Yep.
For the love.
And everyone, make sure you go to the Leap 36 podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Leap 36. Follow them. Show the love because we're doing a joint podcast during Super Bowl week with the great Leroy Butler,
the great
2022 Hall of Famer. So you do not want to miss that.
Y'all hear that, man? We doing a joint podcast with the NFL Hall of Famer. There's real shit happening over here, man. Hit that subscribe button, smash it.
The father of the Lambeau Leap, in case y'all don't know. He was the first. He was the one that came up with it.
That's what you're getting here on Straight No Chaser, man. Tell all your peoples, tell your wives, tell your girlfriends, tell your side pieces, tell your cousin them, tell your pastor that you don't like. All of them. Tell your church members, tell your Sunday school teacher. Tell that coworker you've been wanting to beat up in the parking lot. Tell everybody, man. Straight No Chaser is the real deal. Get on board.
There you go. Another great episode. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of it. Thank you, Azrael, for holding down the comments. Dante as well, Between the Game Sports, Miss Diva, 47 P Rose, and anybody who else I may have missed, man. Y'all held it down in the chat, man. So that's what we want every week. We're going to definitely bring it, man. So till next time, gentlemen, thank y'all so much, and we out.
We out. Peace, y'all.
Boys, peace.